Hello. I'm trying to get some better light in here. I've got one of these ring lights that just won't turn on, so I got to figure that one out. I kind of commandeered it from my son's gaming station. But we're here. We're back in the garage. When we last left, we were cutting the pins there, and what I've done off camera is just kind of cleaned out the inside parts of these are called the tail recesses. It's where the tails are going to go. These are the pins. So right now these are all pretty much clear. I've got it fit 80-90% of the way, so I figured I'd kind of show you the final pieces. And once again I know that that's the X. Going to go to the X that we fit it to. So we're going to try to finish marrying this joint. I'm going to put that in there. Let's grab this back. Okay. We will need a hammer. So this is going to go here just to make this fit a little bit better. Little trick of the trade. That's the outside. I'm looking specifically at the inside. I'm going to take a chisel and I'm going to just put like a chamfer, a little leading edge. I am not going to the outside. I'm starting in just a little bit and just putting a little a chamfer, just taking a little edge off right in here, and that's just going to help everything seat. I'm not going to do it on that one because that'll be seen, and that's just so that way when I put it right here, it kind of falls right into place. So I'm going to take the hammer, the mallet, and now I feel like I could drive that home, but I don't know if you can hear the difference. This is a little bit of a dead sound. Like I think I can drive that all the way. This one, it's a lot more solid. Just doesn't feel right, or doesn't feel right enough. So I'm just gonna look. I'm looking for some bruising on the wood, and I can see a little bit here. So I'm just gonna take off just kind of feeling for it. Just take off that light bruising and go all the way down, because this has to be perpendicular. Like right here, I don't think this is perfectly straight. And I got to be careful because this, depending on the grain of the wood, may or may not come out well. I don't really like the size of that, so we're going to go with the smaller chisel. Take that out. We just want to make sure there's nothing going to hold off the joint, especially in those corners. That looks like that's going to be a problem. Okay. And again, I'm looking for some bruising. See a little bit on here. Ever so slightly take that out. Ooh, and okay, there's quite a bit of bruising there. So let's take that out. All right. I saw how very little shavings came off right there. That's all it. It's just a lot of trial and error. It's tight, but it still feels like it's going. I don't see any kind of splits. I don't hear anything like the wood cracking. All right. All right, so that's the first time in history that joint is put together, and it does look pretty good. There is, I'll point out the flaws here. There is a bit of a gap here, so did I take off too much? Is it not perfectly squared? I'm not so sure. But that all fits in there well, just out of curiosity. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That can come up a little bit. So, yeah, for kicks. I haven't done this yet. It's still a short video. That's B goes to B. So that, yeah, these joints here I've already fit. So I can pretty confidently go with those. And it's got to be done in the right order, because if I put it on the other way, it's not going to fit. You have to Make sure you put everything in the right order. This will be a big test. Haven't tried this yet, being done to camera. I could be shooting myself in the foot, making myself look foolish, but I'm fairly confident. I'm also fairly confident getting this apart is going to be difficult. All right. So that is this one here. There we go. Little. When in doubt, go with the bigger hammer. Right there. That is pretty much how it's going to go. These will have to be cleaned up and fixed. Like right there, you can see that the knife is just catching because that's a little bit higher. So there'll be knives. I'm sorry. I'll plane around the edges. The inside. This is. Let me see if I can get that with the light here. This corner was the one that I wasn't happy with, and if you can just see just inside there is a gap on there, which is the difference between the outside of here and the inside down there. But that is the first part. The drawer gonna fit right in there. There will be a bottom. I'm not sure what I'm going to work on next. I mean, this will have to be glued together, so that way we can plane around here, get these all flush, so that way when the bottom will get glued on. That's just going to be a flat board. I'm thinking about a frame and panel for the top. I just think it's going to look nice. I've got a piece of maple that I want to use to contrast the darkness of the mahogany, and we need to check the box for square. And how we do that is we measure from the inside corner to this inside corner, and this inside corner, that inside corner, and we want to make sure that it's the same or as close to it. So here I have 10 and an eighth. And here it's 10 and just over the eighth. So I'm just, that's the long corner. I'm just going to give it a little nudge. And let's see. So that's, yes, a 10 and an eighth. And that's it. If anything, I'm out by maybe a 64th, which when you're doing that way, it's actually divided by 2, so 112. This box is square. I know if these angles, if these two corners measure the same, that these two are parallel to each other and these two are parallel to each other, which is very important when you're making a box. You got to have it parallel, because the drawer, if it's too tight in the back, the drawer will never go in. If it's too tight up here, it'll go in, but it'll wobble and shake. So I am, albeit I am not happy 100% with that joint. Overall, I do really like the way it's coming together. And before actually gluing it together, I will go ahead and level off the sides. It'll get fully done when I get there, but you have to make sure that these pins don't come up past the level. Oh, actually, hold on, we got to fix that right there. Okay. Got to make sure these pins don't come out, because when you put the clamping pressure on it, you're going to push these two sides in, and if the pins are protruding past the tails, you got to prevent the pressure from closing it up properly. So what I will do is clean up the outside of the boxes, make sure these are flush. We got to be careful on these sides right here. We will make sure the bottom is flush, so that way when we put the bottom on, there is connecting surfaces all the way across. So right now, that's going to prevent this section here from being glued because it's lower than here. So this will be glued up, but the other board won't hit until back here. We don't want that. We want a full contact glue surface. So that pretty much is skeleton for the desktop organizer. and we will get back to it hopefully soon. Thanks for watching.